a lot of their magic damage. But I really like the Null Stone just because of the passive regen, and the Shrunken Hide gets less effective over time. Here I pick up a regen rune, so I'm going to use it to travel top. This is kind of a mistake too. Regen rune is basically the best thing ever for Dr. Repulsor. And the fact that I'm just using it to travel around the map, when my teleport stone or homecoming stone would have been off cooldown like 5 seconds anyway, it's pretty loose. Should have saved it to gank someone. So yeah, just kind of hanging on top here, using my regen rune. Another thing is I kind of forget that regen runes actually have a duration. Probably because I don't spend enough time playing Dr. Repulsor for obvious reasons that I've already mentioned. So I kind of let it run out there while not having full mana, which is definitely a mistake. Should make sure my mana's full when the regen rune ends. It's just weird to think about. Like, I mean, there's very, very few heroes in the game that can use a regen rune for the entire duration, Dr. Repulsor obviously being one of them. I'm not really sure what others, but I'm going to assume. Yeah, here we see Dimension Shaman running up. It's pretty obvious that he's there. Thunderwing doesn't really back up in time, so he could get caught. The Dimension Shaman then doesn't really, or plays up a little bit too much, so I'm going to try to catch him, and fortunately our beautiful support Predator leaps in just in time and gets one of his 2 kills. Man, what a kill stealer. So yeah, we have 3-on-3 here. Actually 4-on-3. No, 3-on-3. Yeah, we have one person mid, one person bottom, so this is fine. Just hanging out here while our other 2 lanes kind of farm. I'm just going to throw up Contraption there for vision of the river if anyone runs up. And then I'm going to stand here and wait to eat an arrow. Boom. Like I said, arrows into me, it's like one of those dreams where there's that, the big animal, like a dog or a wolf or something that's chasing after you, and you try to run as fast as possible, but you just can't make it. Like, no matter what you do, you just can't get further away from them. That's me and arrows. So yeah, here I'm just trying to farm a tiny bit more gold, just so that, because I'm so close to my Blessed Orb. So I'm just going to kind of farm this lane real quick. I was going to go in and take the jungle, but then Predator went to that camp, so that's fine. I'm obviously going to give him the creeps over me, because he is a better support than I am. Anyway, yeah, so farm up enough to get my Blessed Orb, and then one more creep so that I can buy another Homecoming Stone. Really important to have Homecoming Stones on Dr. Repulsor, as I've stated, because it just lets him teleport to places and then rush in from basically anywhere on the map. Kind of just Predator and I hanging out up here, sharing each other's farm. A little action going mid, but because we don't have a tower there, I can't teleport and really do anything, so I'm just going to push this tower instead. And then we see a puppet, who I figure I can kill. Fortunately, Predator's right behind me, so yeah, he's going to run in, auto-attack it once, get his assist count up, go assist gold. Here I kind of pansy out and teleport out unnecessarily. They don't really have, now that Puppet's dead, they don't really have disables that could keep me or hold me in place. There's really no reason to jump like that and just leave the Predator. But he does have Stone Height, so I figure he can get alright. Alright, so here I was kind of running into the river, and I assumed by clicking here for some stupid reason that it would actually run me through the river. But I should know better. Obviously, I would prefer to run past the tower. Kind of the problem there is that I'm paying more attention to watching the action rather than being a part of it. So yeah, wouldn't pass the tower. See the Dimension Shaman here pushing this tower. I'm going to try to get a kill on him, but don't really have the mana left to do that. I probably should have bottled up before going in, because then I could throw it on a contraption and actually had a chance to kill him, but I still don't know if that would have been possible. Possibly, if I got both bottle charges off, there's actually a decent chance I could have killed him, to be perfectly honest. But getting the tower denied is more important anyway, so I jump back just in time to deny that. Unfortunately, now there's a team fight top going on, and my teleport's off cooldown. Or on cooldown. It's always a weird thing to say, like, is it off? Because off means that you don't have something, but off cooldown means the cooldown's off? I don't know. I always flip-flop between what I say. I mean, I know it makes sense to say on cooldown means that there is currently a cooldown, so you cannot use it, and off cooldown means that it's ready to be used. I understand the logic behind that, but I still just kind of screw it up sometimes. Yeah, so I wasn't able to teleport in for the team fight up there. I was, however, able to finish my Null Stone, and I still have a Homecoming Stone, so I'm just going to keep farming bottom. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll push the top tower and I can teleport in with my DD and wreck some face. But that seems pretty unlikely because they're playing extremely passive, which I don't think is a good call because, well, I don't know. Their late game and our late game probably about equal. I mean, they have 3 carry-ish heroes versus we just have 2, but I think ours are definitely harder. Wait, no, we have 3. Yeah, I completely forgot about our support predator. My bad. Yeah, so no, we definitely have a better late game than they do. So they're really playing passive, and I'm really bored with them playing passive because I just want something to happen. I just want to kill people. I want to chase them down an ult. But unfortunately, I'm not doing that, so I'm just farming, which, like I said, is fine. I was worried that top tower might get into deny range. Fortunately, they manned up on the creep wave before the tower was to get into deny range, so I just said wange. Wave and range, bad combination. So fortunately that tower's fine, and we should be able to push it pretty soon because it's going to be like right at the sweet spot to take out. So I'm probably just going to farm this one more creep wave and then head back up top, obviously because I'm pushed pretty far forward. Again, kind of a safe thing to do with Dr. Repulsor because I have an ult that can go anywhere, and at this point I have my nullstone, and knowing that there are only 2 disables, well, Puppet has 2 disables, but if he uses both of them I could kind of be in trouble, but with the amount of cast time it's going to take to get both of those off, I'm pretty sure I would be able to ult out by the time the first one was cancelled by the nullstone. Yeah, so just kind of slowly making my way top. There's a rune, so I'm going to check bottom rune first and hope for something good. It's an illusion, so I have 3 here. I know they have an eye here, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to separate one and send it into the jungle by itself, and the other 2 move together. It's typically when someone moves, after grabbing an illusion rune, if someone moves 1 unit by itself and then 2 together, usually they're moving them by themselves. At least this is what happens in pub games, is they're moving them by themselves and then the other 2 illusions together. So I was just trying to bait them to go on that illusion. I probably should have hung out a little bit closer with the other 2. And maybe just kept them not moved, but I didn't really want to get hit by an arrow. And yeah, so I ran in afterwards, even knowing that I wasn't, like, the reason I sent the illusion in the first place was because I didn't expect to be able to kill anyone because I knew I was seen by the eye. And here goes Brown trolling again with his concede vote. This guy is silly. But then my double damage popped because it ran out of time. So I really wanted to kill someone, so I was just kind of hoping I could spot someone. I see the tree bottom. I really want to kill him because he's the only person I can see on the map. Passive games are so boring. So I get some dust, because with dust I'll definitely be able to gank him if he's by himself. And dust should help in a team fight with his stuff as well. We see kind of people grouping up in the top, so I'm going to finish this creep wave, and then I should probably head up there. Yep, which is what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, some of my team gets caught first. Fortunately, Predator, being the good support player he is, takes the bullet and lets everyone else get out. You see here I run up to the right, not the left, because they're up there and I don't want them to have vision of me coming up and put me in a terrible position. I have full mana, so it's time to go in and try to catch some of these people. The Valk's right there, so I should probably try to catch her first, but I pretty much assume that my teammates can kill her, so I'm going to go for the Soul Stealer, who's a more important target anyway. Unfortunately, the Valk does get away, thanks to a tree ult. All I can do about that, as soon as the puppet holds off though, I'm going to go try to catch this puppet, which fortunately our Pyro has a blink now, which is nice that he has not only been supporting with wards and buying a blink, and has been able to buy a blink. I actually didn't, when I was watching the game, catch what happened there, which was that the Valk actually used her ult to get the Demented Shaman out. If I had, I would have dusted, but I just didn't see it in the game. I just didn't catch it on my screen fast enough. So when I blinked in there, I was kind of confused as to where they went, which is why someone went up to check the outpost to see if they juked. But no, it was a Valk ult, so good ult, Valk. But we take the tower anyway, which is fine. I'd rather get a tower than Demented Shaman kill any day of the week. And as you noticed, Pyro was kind enough to let me last hit the tower. Yeah. So there's no rune top. The 26-minute rune should have spawned, but who knows if it's still around. So I'm just going to go check both of these. Kind of foolishly running through the river again, but I see that Valk is bottom, as I just pointed out, so that I'm not going to get arrowed at least. Yep, rune's not there. Eyes will do that. So, time to go back to farming. Yeah, I think that's maybe me pinging where the eyes are. Here I see Demented Shaman. Because I'm bored, I just really want to go kill him. And I know I can blow him up. I'm kind of diving pretty deep, and I get really bailed out there. So, the Valk throws an arrow on where I dove, which is obviously intelligent. Fortunately for me, the Voodoo Puppet ult actually eats the arrow for me. So instead of biting a 5-second arrow and definitely dying, I'm able to get out once the hold wears off. So I guess that's a lesson, just not to get impatient. I I mean, if this was like a real game, I don't know, what do you say with a real game? I'm obviously pubbing regardless. But like, I mean, I don't know, if I was playing with my friends in like, 3 or 4 versus 4 team matchmaking, I would be perfectly fine with just farming. But because it's a pub game, and because, I've had so few opportunities to record a game like this, I really just want stuff to happen. So that's why I kind of forced action there and put myself in a relatively bad spot when I normally would not have. Yeah, so now we have all 5 of us. They have 1 dead for a little bit, and their Soul Stealer, who's being a bit too Rambo. So we should be able to push this lane. There I go, setting myself up for another arrow. But actually, to be honest, if I got arrowed there, it would be perfectly fine, because we have enough teammates around to support me. And yeah. So now we're just going to go push this tower. I have the dust ready for any tree shenanigans. And yeah, kind of... Ooh, yeah, running up like that, again, not so smart, but really want to get this creep wave nuked down as quickly as possible, just so we can take this tower. I think the pyro actually blinked there. I should throw down a contraption right here when the tree ulted me. I kind of taking a little too long. Fortunately, my teammates are blowing them up anyway. Here you can see I dust as soon as the Soul Stealer goes invis, but he's got his BKB up anyway, Shrunken Head. There I try to avoid the arrow, but like I said, I am not capable of doing these things, so I jump back out. And then jump back in once I've kind of bottled up a little bit. First I'm going to catch the Soul Stealer because he's always my high priority target. Keeping him down is important, and then we're going to catch the Demented Shaman afterwards. And yeah, Gladiator and I are going to finish him off. So what happened there, obviously, after taking the arrow, I'm a pretty high priority target for them to finish off, so I'm going to jump out. I think that's perfectly fine, because me jumping out, like, that's really what you should do with Dr. Repulsor. If you get focused or get targeted, get kind of low, jump out, bottle up, jump back in. Like, this is what makes Dr. Repulsor so strong. So I wasn't really being too much of a pansy there, just kind of positioning myself intelligently, since I am a, ranged intelligence carry. No pun intended. Yeah, so that's pretty much the game. Again, 30-minute concede, not terribly exciting. It wasn't a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, because, I mean, it was like 9-16, etc. at some point until that last push. So, I mean, that's about as good as I can get. I know I wish the game went longer, because you can really have a lot of fun with Dr. Repulsor in a long game. A lot of stuff happens, but not much I can do. That's pub matchmaking for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Here you can see a little chat afterwards with Brown and his claiming that Dr. Repulsor was a bad hero at the beginning. But yeah, so that's all I've got, and thanks for watching. Glad I could finally get this Dr. Repulsor video. I hope it's at least semi-satisfying after the long wait, and yep, that's about it.